52,000 fans packed into BC Place in Vancouver, creating a massive wall of sound. The pressure of playing a World Cup on home soil was heavy in the air. This roster represents a golden generation for Canadian soccer. They've spent the last decade steadily climbing the international ranks. But that progress was shadowed by one glaring statistic. The men's team had never won a World Cup match. That drought extended through their 2026 tournament opener, which ended in a tepid 1-1 draw against Bosnia and Herzegovina. The clock was ticking and the frustration was mounting. Going into their second match, the question was simple. Could this talented squad handle the intense scrutiny and finally match up with the world's best? Or would the expectations of a host nation cause them to fold? The match against Qatar served as an existential proving ground, a high-stakes opportunity to secure Canada's first-ever tournament victory and establish their undisputed legitimacy on the global world stage. Right from the opening whistle, Canada trapped Qatar in their own half. They built a high block of possession, suffocating the Qatari defense. This chart shows the distribution of the ball in that first half. Canada held a massive 78% of the possession, entirely dictating the rhythm of the game. That continuous pressure eventually broke the seal. After Qatar failed to clear a chaotic corner kick, the ball dropped to striker Sile Larin, who smashed it into the net to open the scoring. Moments later, the offense escalated again. Playmaker Tajon Buchanan drove the ball up the channel and took a shot that deflected perfectly into the path of Jonathan David. David struck a clean volley before the ball even hit the turf to make it 2-0. The sheer pace of the Canadian attack forced Qatar into desperate errors. Trying to stop another rapid breakaway, Qatari defender Homam Ahmed hauled down Buchanan outside the box, earning a straight red card for denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Deep in first-half stoppage time, David tapped in his second goal off another Buchanan cross. The Canadian players celebrated what they later called a 51-minute run through dreamland. By the halftime whistle, Canada had effectively dismantled their opponents. Through precise passing and constant movement, they had turned a high-pressure match into a one-sided exhibition, silencing the doubts that followed them into the stadium. But that joy vanished instantly at the start of the second half. In the 51st minute, star midfielder Ismaël Koné turned his back to cycle a routine pass to his defensive line. Qatari midfielder Asim Madibo arrived late, putting extra force into a reckless challenge that clattered directly into the back of Koné's left leg. The reaction on the pitch was sheer horror. Midfield partner Steven Eustachio began shouting frantically at the bench as Koné sat on the grass, staring in shock at his lower leg, which was dangling at an unnatural angle. Following a video assistant referee review, the official upgraded the initial foul to a second red card. A deeply frustrated Qatar team was reduced to just 9 players. In an instant, the peak of a historic victory was paralyzed. Canada had the win secured, but the grim reality set in that they had lost the emotional core of their roster to a devastating break. As medical staff secured Koné on a stretcher and carried him toward the tunnel, the stadium rose. A celebratory crowd shifted into a somber, unified ovation as the midfielder sat up briefly to wave to the fans chanting his name. The players channeled that emotion immediately. Substitute Nathan Saliba stepped up to bury a direct free kick, instantly turning toward the tunnel and holding up 8 fingers, Koné's jersey number. In stoppage time, Jonathan David found himself in perfect position to clean up a blocked shot, finalizing a 6-0 rout and securing his hat-trick. That third strike etched David into the record books. He became the first player representing a host nation to score a World Cup hat-trick since England's Geoff Hurst achieved the feat in 1966. Amidst the milestones, the crowd also took time to recognize Canada's broader soccer legacy, delivering a massive ovation when women's scoring icon Christine Sinclair was shown on the scoreboard. Canada walked away with their first-ever World Cup victory and a set of historic milestones, but the win came at a devastating cost. The celebratory atmosphere of the record-breaking night has been replaced by a grim rallying cry as the squad heads into the knockout stages to finish the job for Ismaël Koné.